Dr. Kaplan, thanks for this opportunity to talk to you about your work in helping others to see more clearly. You've been helping me improve my own eyesight, and I know that you've developed a fascinating method of helping your clients to look more deeply into what you have described as their visual style. As a beginning point, this aspect of your work uses the ages-old method of iris interpretation. In your method, it appears that you have taken what others have found and then taken it still further so that it can be used to help clarify the underlying processes that are present when a person does not have clear eyesight.
Thank you for the opportunity, Andrew, to share this information with you and the viewers. So, yeah, you can look at this iris picture and get a really good sense of the complexity of the iris structure and the mystery that it holds inside.
In this first picture, we see an amazing amount of detail. Does the iris reveal a fixed code, or is it something that reveals where we have been and something we can change with new experiences?
That's a very important question, and this code occurs at conception. And the mixing of the sperm and the egg is the beginning coding of the physical structure of the iris. However, the code can be influenced during the in-uterine period as well as the post-birth period, especially in the first 7 years. And later I'll show some pictures of how the iris changes during the first 14 years. So the physical structure can change, and that changing is called conditioning. And there's much conditioning from the family, the culture, schooling, everything actually conditions us. And it just depends on, if we stay with our code, then the conditioning shows up less structurally on the iris. If we are heavily conditioned, it can reveal itself by an altered physical structure.
The next picture shows the feeling structure. It has the appearance of calm water. What is the value of the feeling structure in vision improvement?
The feeling structure basically is a common structure for everybody. We all have varying degrees of feeling structure. This means that in different parts of our lives and different aspects, we are demanded upon to use feeling to process and to perceive. Just like the calm water that you can see in the image, the feeling represents the calmness inside of ourselves, the stillness, the ability to stop thinking and to be with the experience. So it is vitally important when we talk about vision and improving vision. The basic reason is that the way we live our modern day lifestyle, we are asked to use our thinking more than our feeling. And there's a direct correlation between thinking and the macular and the foveal tension that shows up in vision improvement work. So the feeling structure is a very important part of ourselves, and everybody is asked to learn to feel correctly.
In picture 3, we see the emotional structure like flower petals. Does emotion play a part in improving vision? Can you also say something about the difference between feeling and emotion?
This is an important distinction that we have to make, and I'm going to show the feeling structure again. There's the feeling structure. You can see that it's smooth, it's well filled in and defined, like over here. The emotional structure, on the other hand, has petals. It has depth. So the fundamental difference between feeling and emotion is that emotion is an extension of feeling into a very deep level. So this means that for certain people who are improving their vision, they have to go much deeper than others, and they will have different strategies, different approaches to the vision retraining, vision improvement. So we have to understand the background that emotion means depth, and depth means deep experience. So the structure that is emotional means that the person is coded to have deep experiences in their life, and some of these can have a negative survival aspect that can lead to loss of eyesight and a deterioration of vision function. So the code, the emotional code of the iris versus the feeling code, helps us understand how to approach vision improvement, what questions to ask them, which techniques to use, because it tells us whether we have to go deep or whether we can work at superficial levels. And that's the basic discernment.
Looking at picture 4, this is the thinking structure, like hard mountains. Does thinking affect seeing clearly?
The thinking structure, as you can see in this photograph, is a thickening condensation of material. It's a kind of protection. It's a form of stabilization, and it's like the mountain. It's very firm, very solid, very slow to change. My research over the 35 years that I've been doing this work implicates that a thinking structure seems to be related to a thinking kind of nearsightedness. And I referred earlier to the point of the importance of feeling and what happens if we think too much. I want to review that point. It appears that when we are thinking in our brain, in our mind, there seems to be a dominance of the foveal way of perceiving. We call this looking. And that's contrasted to a retinal way of seeing, which is feeling. And it seems that culturally we are a thinking-dominated system. And so I believe that in improving vision, we need to consider whether the person is overthinking, and the structure code of the iris helps us determine that. And then we can make appropriate steps towards a true effective training.